That's right, Tammy. In fact, local Baptist congregations are independent, so they aren't required to follow what the National Convention says on the flag. Founders formed the Southern Baptist Convention when they split away from their northern counterparts over slavery just before the Civil War. This week, the group approved a resolution that they want to encourage Baptists to stop flying the stars and bars. Supporters say it's a sign of unity with African American Christians and other believers around the world.
As a white Southerner, it's difficult for me to understand the pain and suffering that our African American brothers and sisters feel about the flag. But it is a fact that it does bring on pain and suffering and reminders of a dark era.
Christian organizations, I guess they can do whatever they can, but I just feel like it's a waste of their time.
Why do you feel it's a waste of time?
Because it's not going to change anything.
Again, the church resolution doesn't have the force of law, so that means local church groups, individual churches are not required to follow what the convention says about the flag. And even supporters of the Southern Baptist resolution say they don't believe it will have any effect on the flag debate at the state capitol. For now, we're live in the newsroom. Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.